Well, hello and welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedrick. You know, everybody needs a little TLC. Talk Leadership with Cedrick is where we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. You know, our guiding leadership principle is the law of contribution. And the law of contribution says growing yourself enables you to grow others. You see, you can't give what you don't have. So, first, you must grow yourself in order to grow others. We believe that outstanding leaders like yourself will help us to help others. So, tonight, sit back and relax. We have another dynamic leader with us. Now, you know, every week I like to do a proper introduction of our guests. And tonight is no different. Tonight, I want to welcome to the show Johanna Rincon. Now, Johanna is originally from the Dominican Republic. She came to the United States for the first time when she was a mere 14 years old and didn't speak one word of English. Now, she's come a long way from 14 and speaking English. So tune in, stay tuned for tonight, right? She's the mother of two girls, Alexa, 12 years old, and Eliana, 4 years old. She's been married to her husband, Alexis, for 15 years. Now, Johanna is the founder and CEO of Internal Alignment, LLC, where she equips, inspires, and empowers people to be the best version of themselves and to live life to the fullest. She accomplishes this through personal growth and leadership development, including effective communication skills through training, speaking, coaching, and mentoring them. She is also a certified speaker, trainer, and coach with the John Maxwell team. She's a certified human behavior specialist, a consultant, and she's a Maxwell certified parenting and family coach. So, all you that are looking to understand how to raise those kids, Johanna is the person for you. Johanna also serves in the capacity of leadership success coach in the Newark Alliance with the Newark 2000 Hiring Initiative, where she helps individuals to identify possible career options and recommends possible solutions to career paths and prepare individuals for the next steps to accomplish their career goals. Before starting her coaching business, Johanna spent 17 years in the hospitality industry, um, serving in a lot of different capacities from front office manager to director of guest relations and conference services manager. She has worked for some of the top hospitality companies in the world, the Four Seasons and the Peninsula Hotel. So let's welcome Miss Johanna Rincon to the show.
Wow, thank you so much, Cedric. It is an honor for me to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation, and I am thrilled to be spending this time here with you.
Well, awesome. Well, I'm excited about having you on the show as well. So let's just dive in, right? So let's just understand. You know, I know I read your bio, but let's just help unpack you and teach our audience who is Ms. Johanna Rincon of Internal Alignment. So tell our listeners about your journey to leadership and how did you get to where you are today?
Well, thank you, Cedric. My journey started as you mentioned. My leadership started actually at a very young age. You know, it started when I was 14 years old. Exactly when I came to the United States of America for the first time. That experience changed the trajectory of my life. And it shaped me in so many ways. It helped me build so many skills that I now use in my life. September 25th, 1996. That's when I came to the United States for the first time. I landed in New York with my brother Alan. He was 15, I was 14, and man, that was hard. That was super hard, but you know what? We embraced that experience and we learned so much from it, Cedric. You know, when we came here to the United States, we were very young. We left our mom back home. We left our friends. We left our culture, our language, our beautiful weather to to this, right? I mean, and it was September. It wasn't even that cold in New York, but everything felt so cold, from the weather to coming to the airport and not even knowing they were asking me to sign a paper. I had no clue what they were telling me. So it was a big change. It was very drastic. But I look back now, Cedric, and I that came to our lives as a blessing. My father brought me and my brother here to the United States so that we can have the opportunities that we would not have in the Dominican Republic. And, at the beginning, it seemed really difficult, and we thought we were going to die, but we made it through. And that helped us to develop resilience, and it helps us to shape the men and women that we are today. And I include my brother because he went through the same experience with me. But yeah, that's where my leadership development started. And at a very young age, before I came to the United States in Dominican Republic, I always dreamed of. I had two dreams, Cedric. Number one, I wanted to be a top model. I wanted to be a model. And I don't know if you know this, but I wanted to be a runway model, Cedric.
Okay.
And I also wanted to be, my plan B is I wanted to work in hotels. But I remember I had a conversation with someone in the Dominican Republic about my dream about being a model. And I had a conversation with a person, and that person told me that I wasn't tall enough to be a model. And I believed that person because realistically, yes, I wasn't tall enough to be a model. And it's crazy because I want to mention this because that comment preconditioned my mind. Preconditioned my mind because I never pursued that dream to wanted to be a model.
Wow.
But yeah, but I came to New York and I had my plan B. So I wanted to then work in hotels. And that's what I did. So, managed to go to high school, graduated from school, went to a travel and hospitality school, and I landed in my first job working for the Peninsula Hotel. And it wasn't easy, Cedric. It was super hard. I remember when I went to school, I knew I wanted to work in hotels, but they equipped us to work in a travel agency or at the airport. And so I landed in a job as a sales representative in it was a company that they used to do tours to Niagara Falls.
Hmm.
So my job was to go to all these hotels, a long list of hotels in Manhattan, going to all the concierge, giving out the brochure for this company. And I remember, Cedric, I had a stack of my resumes like this big in my bag. And in every hotel that I used to go, I used to talk to the people at the front desk. Are you guys hiring? And I used to give out my resume. You have no idea how many resumes I gave out while doing the other job, right? I was still pursuing that dream.
So
And
you were busy pursuing your dream, but you were also trying to latch on to something, the next part of your dream.
that's right. And
Wow.
and that was just, I like to say that because, sometimes people see, like, I started working at the Peninsula Hotel. That was my first job. And yes, it was a five-star hotel, but I had to go through a lot to get there, and it was the resilience and the persistence that actually helped me to get there. So that's how I started. And, it's been a great career.
What
And
an amazing start, though. I mean, that's amazing. When I heard that or read in your bio that you came here and didn't speak any English, I said, well, I want to inquire about this. So you left at the age of 14 years old, your home, everything that you knew was life, to come to here, according to your dad, to get a better life, right?
yes.
And I'm sure at 14, you're like, I don't want a better life. I want my current life, right?
Well, you know what's interesting with that, Cedric? I always had that in my mind. So I always said to myself, even at a very young age, I was very mature, and everything that I did was so intentional. I always said to myself, I have to come here and take advantage of this opportunity because that's what we came to do in this country. I mean, I left my mom is over there crying for us. I have, my everybody. So I need to take advantage of this opportunity. So that actually kept me grounded because that was the main idea.
Okay. Wow. Well, that's awesome, and that you had the wherewithal at the age of 14 to keep that. So, give us a little bit about. So now you fast forward. You've been here since 1996. You worked at some really great properties. Four Seasons is always a great place to stay at. And now you are you branched out, and now you're your own the owner of your own business, right? Internal Alignment LLC. So tell us a little bit about Internal Alignment.
So internal alignment, Cedric, it's my business, it's my coaching business. My purpose in internal alignment is to equip, inspire, and empower, especially young people. That's my focus. I want to focus on young people because I came to this country when I was young, you know,
Hmm.
and so we all need people that speak into our lives. So I want to encourage all those kids, equip them, inspire them, and empower them, to be the best version of themselves and to find internal alignment in their life, to align their thoughts, their feelings, and their actions.
Wow.
Because ultimately, that's what's going to help them have a strong character and be
Yes.
and be able to lead themselves better, and not only themselves but to lead other people better.
Right. Absolutely. You want to equip, inspire, and empower young people. Now that's awesome, right? And that's beautiful in so many ways because we understand that young people need mentors. They need people that's going to pour into them. They need people that's going to help equip them. And in fact, one stat says that 55% students who have a mentor are 55% more likely to go on to college or to the next level. So what you're talking about doing is just an awesome journey.
Thank you.
So why internal alignment? Why should a parent? Well, as I mentioned, is just for students or is for parents as well?
Yes, no, I mean, we can only focus on the students, right? Because they have the parents, the people around them, that you also need to offer the training that they need. And the beautiful thing with my business, Cedric, I equip the children, but I also have resources to equip the parents. And not only, and you know what happens in this country with immigrants families, for example, the kids, they speak English, and then the parents, they don't speak English. So I have resources to equip both the kids who are more familiar with the English language and the parents who don't speak very well the English. So
English.
I have Spanish and English available for both. But yeah, it's very important that we also focus on the adults that are around these kids, right? So
Yeah.
they can build in on whatever you're teaching them, and they can also see the same values that you're teaching them, because at the end of the day, they're not going to do what you say, they're going to do what they see. So it
Mhm.
doesn't matter how many good trainings I give them, or mentoring. If they see something different at home, that's what they're going to do.
Right. You're absolutely right about that. And so help us understand why internal alignment. Like, I know that parents have different options and that they can consider for themselves or for their students. Why should they consider internal alignment?
Well, Cedric, I think I bring a very different perspective into this. Me having 17 years of experience in the hospitality industry, I know hospitality and parenting, maybe they're not related to each other, right? But the experience in the service industry that I bring, it's of a great value. 17 years, and I want to operate my business 5 stars, Cedric. And that's what I learned in the hospitality industry. I want to operate my business. I don't want to only meet the expectations of my clients. I want to exceed the expectations, and so that's what I bring into this business. And another perspective that I bring is that I am also a mom. I am a mom of a 4-year old and a 12-year old, so I understand what parents are going through. And so those are some of the very unique skills that I bring into this, into my trainings and my coaching sessions and mentoring, and and I'm also bilingual. So as I was mentioning, I can do these trainings, the same trainings that I do in English. I also have them available in Spanish. So there's definitely some great value, and of course, that's what I wanted. I want to bring all of these unique experiences that I've gone through as a mom, and also seeing so many different people. Like when you work in hotels, you see so many wealthy people, and you realize that everybody just, it doesn't matter how much money you have, Cedric. Everybody just wants to be understood. And
Yes.
if you put that understood and loved, and feeling that somebody, that you're going through this journey with somebody, that you're not alone. And so when you teach that to your kids, especially when they're in the teenage years, that there's so much happening in their head, right? So many
Right.
questions. I think that's very powerful. So I bring all of that into this trainings and all this services that I provide.
Awesome. Did you hear that? She said people want to be understood and loved. And that's what she brings from the internal alignment perspective. That's what you're going to get when you reach out to internal alignment for help and assistance with yourself and your teenagers. That is awesome. So, Joanna, there's been a lot happening in the year of 2020 in the United States. The Kansas City Chiefs, for one, finally wins the Super Bowl, right? So their fans can, sit down. Now, then we get into uh, COVID-19 happens in 2020, and it really just turned this year upside down. Obviously, we'll talk about a little bit later. We have all these social justice issues that are happening in the U.S. But what about um, this COVID-19? How has this crisis impacted your business, and what have you been able to do to overcome that?
Well, it has, thanks to COVID-19, I was actually able to focus now 100% on my business, Cedric, because, you know, I think our lives, it's now separated before and after COVID-19, right?
Right,
So before COVID-19, I have my job, and my secure job, like, from a long time, from 14
right,
years working in that company. And but unfortunately, due to the COVID-19, I lost it. My position was eliminated, and boom, here I am. I was already a certified coach, speaker, and trainer for 3 years. And this COVID-19 has given me the opportunity to nurture my business, to go out there and do what I wanted to do for a long time, which is help people, inspire them, equip them. And I actually, the idea of focusing on teenagers came from the actually in March I started doing trainings, complementaries for kids, as a way of me feeling like I was somebody. You know how they used to label people that work in restaurants and hospitality as a non essential? Well,
right.
I refuse to be labeled as a non essential, Cedric. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give trainings to all those kids. And I had all these resources already. And I just saw how much those kids enjoy those topics that we were talking about. So that's why I said, you know what? I'm going to focus on my business, and I'm going to focus on teenagers, and this is all meant to be. And that's what happened to me with COVID. So for me, it actually came as a blessing, because sometimes you need moves like that in your life. God has very mysterious ways of moving you, and I think I needed that in my life. So that just came to me to help me reorganize my priorities, It helped me to come in and be a full-time mom, you know,
Mhm.
and it's just, juggling my day between being homeschooling two girls and doing the things that I need to do at home and still do my coaching calls, and I don't have to go out driving dealing with the traffic in Atlanta. I mean, I just love it.
So there's some positive things that have come out of this
Absolutely.
with COVID. All right, well that's awesome. So let me ask you this: so what makes you smile every day when you get up?
I think, Cedric, one thing that I do when, as soon as I open my eyes every day, is to say thank you. I do that every day. I thank God. I thank God for another day. As simple as that. For giving us another day, and also for allowing us to be healthy, especially now during this crisis that we're going through.
Hmm.
If you're healthy, if your family is healthy, that's a reason to smile every day and to feel great. Like you always are great, right, Cedric?
Absolutely.
So there are so many things why and reasons why we need to feel grateful for where, if you're just having another chance to live, if you're breathing, if you're healthy and your family is healthy, that makes me smile every day.
Well, that's a great reason to smile. So that's awesome. Thank you very much for being transparent with that answer. I appreciate that. You know, leaders come in all different types of packages, right? And they come with different strengths, right? So, what strengths do you feel are important to be a successful leader?
Well, Cedric, I think one of the most important things in a leader. It's the communication skills. If you, as a leader, you can't communicate, you can't articulate your vision with your team, it's very highly that your team is not on the same page with you, right?
Yeah,
Uh, Another important thing, it's your you showing your team and your people that you really care and you're being genuine about it. Because John Maxwell says that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, and that's true. So
absolutely.
for me, I mean, coming from in my previous position, I had about 20 people in my team, and it didn't matter how much. I knew that I need to show them that I care, genuinely care, and spend the time with them and listening and understanding maybe what's happening at home. Because sometimes people, like I mentioned earlier, people just need to feel understood, and they need to feel like somebody care about them. So
Yes.
I think those, if going back to your question, to be a little bit more so, communication skills and just a genuine interest in your people.
Wow. Well, yeah, I 100% agree with you. You know, everybody wants to know that they mean something to you,
Yes.
right? That they matter to you. Even though, you may hear some people say, I don't care what people think. I don't care. It's not true.
It's
Every
not.
person on the planet wants to feel like someone, that they're important to someone, that they matter to someone. And especially in a job situation, people want to know, for people that they're following, do they care for me? And if they don't believe you care for them, it's going to be a long road for you to influence them in a positive way, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So I have something for you. It is Would You Rather?
All right.
All right. So, would you rather have free Apple products forever or have free Wi Fi wherever you go?
Oh, wow. I mean, I think I would love to have my Apple products, Cedric. We need to support the shares. Yeah, I think I'll go with the Apple products.
All right. Would you rather have your own private island or your own private jet?
I think I would love to have my own private jet, so
Your
I
own
could go.
private jet, so you can just go where you want to when you want to.
Absolutely.
Okay. Johanna just gallivanting all over the world. All right. So, would you rather be a ninja or a pirate?
Wow. I think I'll be a ninja. I'm not big on being on sailboat, and no, I'll be a ninja. More action too.
Okay. All right. So, you can get on your jet, fly where you want to, put on your ninja suit, and go around the city.
And rock on. That's it.
Okay. All right. So, last one. Do you want to be best friends forever with your favorite celebrity? Or, nah, I'm not going to go with that one. Never mind. Alex is watching. He's not going to want to hear you say date a
You know?
celebrity.
Okay.
So let me go to the next one. All right. See, I'm watching out for you, Alexis. Um, uh, would you rather have $1 million in Amazon gift cards or have $100,000 in real money?
I'll take the $100,000.
100,000 in real money. Okay.
Absolutely. I'll
All
do
right.
some other investments with that.
Uh, All right. So, good leaders ask great questions. Well, thanks for playing along on this game, by the way. But good
Thank
leaders
you.
ask great questions, right? So, what has been some of the best questions that you have asked that have made a big difference in your path, or maybe someone asked you and you thought, "Wow, that's a great question."
I mean, I think when I think back, Cedric, and I'm going to respond from a being a leader perspective, I think simple questions as, do you trust me? Do you believe in me? Those questions, they have a lot of power, and they go a really long way, because I think two things happen when you ask people that. If you realize, or if you find out that somebody really trusts you and they believe in you, you're going to challenge yourself to hold up yourself to that standard, right?
Hmm.
Because that person believes in you. That reminds me, when I was working at the Peninsula Hotel, I was a page. My first job was a page. I used to wear this really cute outfit, all
Wait, hold
white.
on, hold on. I have to stop. So Kenrick said a gallivanting ninja with an iPhone 20.
That's it, Carrie. Yes.
And Alexa said, "Thanks, Cedric, for watching out for."
Good. I love it. Thanks
I'm
for
sorry. Now
supporting.
go ahead back to it. It's serious now.
Uh, I love it. No, so I was just saying, Cedric. So I think those questions, they just help you so much. So it reminds me, when when I used to work at the Peninsula Hotel, right? My first job, I was a page. So a page, I'll explain what it is.
Okay.
I used to wear an all white uniform, and I was like an internal messenger for the hotel. And sometimes I had to stand in front of the door to open, and like as a not a doorman, but a person of the door, right? A woman door, right? But anyhow, when I used to do that, I did that for 7 months, Cedric. That's how I got into the Peninsula Hotel, right?
Okay.
So I remember when the position for front desk agent was posted, and I look at that, and I knew I wanted to continue to to go to the next step and learn, and so when I saw that position was posted, I was so like hesitant to even try to apply, because I still didn't speak English very well. So the English that I knew in my current position was like enough to help me go through every day what I needed to do and say hello to the people in my big smile, and I was doing okay with what I knew. But I knew that if I wanted to go to the front desk, I had to learn a lot more, right? Because the conversations and the people, and I mean, these are high expectation guests, right?
Sure.
Paying a lot of money. So in my mind, I didn't believe in me because of the language barrier. But I remember one lady, her name is Julia Blumenhaus. She believed in me. She's like, Joanna, do you want to be a front desk agent? And I say, yes, I do. She said to me, you can do it. I believe in you. And that was just so powerful for me, because that was the thing that kept me going, because I didn't want her to then say I was wrong. So that challenged me to continue to move forward and push through. And so I think that's very powerful as a leader. If you know somebody believes in you, or if you are the follower or the part of the team, those are very important questions, and it's because I lived it, my personal experience.
Wow. Well, that right there is an awesome story, right? And you should share that story more often with people, especially with the students that you mentor and coach, because helping people understand that just because you are different, just
Right.
because you don't have all the skills that someone else has, doesn't mean you can't be confident in yourself and your skills and your abilities and apply to go to the next level, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it just makes it even better when someone else believes in you, right?
You borrow that belief from that person.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's a wonderful story, and I would be telling that story a lot. I like that. So, give us two or three things that um, you believe. Let me see how to phrase this. What are two or three things that an individual can do to achieve their goals?
Okay. Well, I think it's very essential, Cedric, that you believe in yourself, right? Going back to
Hmm.
that story, it's very essential that you believe in yourself. It's very essential that you know that you can be, do, and have everything you want in life.
You can
Because
be, do, and have anything you want. I love that. Okay.
and the other thing that I will say is that maybe you need to have very clear goals, right? Of where you want to go, because when you don't know where you want to go, any path that you take, you think it's the right one, and it's not. What that's going to do is just going to distract you. It's not going to help you gain the traction that you need to get your goals. It's going to be a huge distraction because you're
Yeah.
just going everywhere. And then number three, I will probably add to that, be laser focused. Be laser focused on that what you want, and be disciplined. Because if you're not disciplined,
Hmm.
and I'm learning a lot about discipline now, managing my own time and juggling all of this. But discipline, I will say, is probably the number one thing that you need, aside from hard work and all of that, because that's what's going to dictate the results that you get.
Absolutely. I absolutely love that. So, folks, hopefully you took those things down. One, you have to believe in yourself. The next thing you have to be, you have to know that you can be, do, and have anything that you want in life. Then she said you have to have clear goals and you have to be disciplined. And I think she was almost teaching Think and Grow Rich, the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, right here, folks. If you didn't get that, I mean, I might have to send you guys an invoice because we didn't plan for this. So this is extra that you're getting here, right? So I might have to just send you an invoice via PayPal, or I'll put my Cash App thing there, and you guys can pay for these nuggets that Johanna has put out here. Um, Thank you for being on the show. So we have a lot more to go here, but I just want to stop right here and say, so we have Miss Johanna Rincon for people who are just joining us. Miss Johanna Rincon on the show, and she's the Chief Executive Officer for Internal Alignment LLC, right? And she is a certified speaker, trainer, and coach with John Maxwell team. She is a certified human behavior specialist. She is also a certified family and parent coach. So if you need any of those services for yourself and or your children, reach out to Miss Johanna Rincon. And Johanna, let's do this because we haven't done that yet. Let's put your email information or your contact information in the comments, or how can they get in contact with you?
Yes. So in social media, I have my Facebook page, Internal Alignment. People can also find me in Instagram as Internal Alignment by Johanna, and I'm on LinkedIn and Twitter, Johanna Rincon, and then of course I have my email is Johanna Rincon dot internalalignment@gmail.com.
Johanna Rincon, say that again.
Johanna Rincon dot internalalignment@gmail.com.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because for some reason I forgot to write that down. So I want to make sure we get that yeah, so that the audience can reach out to you here. Just about done. Give me a second. And we'll have this in the comments.
And I was sending those.
Perfect. Perfect. We have that in the comments there for you. So reach out. It's up on your screen now. Reach out to Johanna if you need her services. So, what have been some things that you've learned from being a full time business owner now?
I mean, I think, Cedric, I will say your motives, number one. I think when you have good motives for your business, that's going to help you that's going to help you a lot when you get stuck and when you feel like you want to throw the towel, because your motives and your why, that's what's going to keep you motivated, wanting to go out and do that every day. I mean, when you're motivated and you have the right reasons for what you're doing, you don't need an alarm clock. Your eyes
Wow.
open every day and you're just like ready to go, Cedric. And so I think number one is your motives. Um, Also, you need to be a visionary. When you're a business owner, you have to be a visionary. You have to exercise possibility thinking. You have to think big. I read a really good book, Cedric, and I don't know if you've read it before, by David Schwartz, The Magic of Thinking Big. That is an
Not really.
awesome book.
Is it? Okay. The
And
magic of thinking big.
The Magic of Thinking Big
All right.
by
I'll put this.
David Schwartz.
All right. We're gonna put this out here so you can the audience can get it. Go ahead. I'm
And
listening.
then but I also have learned, Cedric, that you have to be very disciplined and very organized, because your results will be very in direct proportion to, in your business, if you're not organized and you're disciplined, your income is going to be affected by those things. So those are some of the things that I that I will say that I have learned to be more disciplined, more organized, and of course to be surrounded by your mentors and your coaches, because you need to have people around you people that are having the results that you want to have in your life. You need to have those people speaking into your life, because Jim Rohn says, Cedric, that you are an average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with.
Say that again, because I need somebody. There's somebody out there that needs to hear that right now. Say that again.
You are an average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
So that is very keen, to be around people, have your coaches and your mentors, or people that are doing what you want to do, that are getting the results that you want to get, and people that are of course willing to guide you or help you in that process. And then the last thing that I will say is also have a teachable spirit, right? Because this journey starts and we all have infinite potential. So you have to continue to learn and have that teachable spirit, right? Because nobody is too young or too old to not to teach you a lesson, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, my 4-year-old daughter teach me lessons all the time. And my 72-year-old mom teach me lessons all the time. So you have to have that teachable spirit too.
Absolutely. And it's amazing that you say that right now, and I'm going to go to this. My next question for you is, you know, growth has to be intentional, right?
Absolutely.
And otherwise, you could go through life from 4 to 72 and never grow if you're not intentional about it, right? And it's one thing to be a 4-year-old and to think one way, but it's another thing to be a 72-year-old and think the same way as the 4-year-old, right? That'd be a problem, right? So, what do you do to for professional growth and personal development?
Well, I always I spend at least 5 hours every week, Cedric. You know, doing courses, doing classes, um, going through resources, learning new material, um, filing quotes, filing things that will help me on my trainings. I spend at least 5 hours doing that.
Wow.
I also keep myself plugged in into communities with like minded people that are looking to grow and develop, people that are looking to collaborate with you, that are looking to teach you. This is
So
a
you
side.
mean once you have your own business, you still have to do those things?
Absolutely. You need to. You need to do that, Cedric, because you, you see, this is how growth works. The more you know, the more you realize that you need to learn more, Cedric. So it becomes like you can't stop it. So you need to continue to do that every day, all day. I mean, not all day,
Yeah.
but I would say, you know, you need to. Remember that teachable spirit that I was talking about earlier?
Right.
You know, you need to have that because if you don't, you know, the world, it's evolving so fast. And there's so many new things that we need to learn every day. So if you don't dedicate, if you're not intentional, like you mentioned, if you're not intentional about it, then it's not going to happen. It's not an automatic process, this
Right.
personal growth business, right? You need
Right.
to be intentional.
Absolutely. So then, I'm sure you're going to be able to answer this question here pretty good. So, wh- what advice would you give an emerging leader? Now, this is someone that they're coming up through the ranks, and they still they're learning how to be a good leader. So, what advice would you give an emerging leader of finding leadership opportunities or ways to fill their professional toolbox?
What I want to say, Cedric, is maybe, you know, pay attention to the people around you. Pay attention to what's the need out there because that's most likely what people are going to buy from you if you want to become an entrepreneur, right?
Right.
Go ahead and have solutions to those problems, those emerging problems that we have. And so I think if you do that and you show people, going back to showing the genuine love and care that you want to help them,
Hmm.
that's one of the fundamental things that you need. You know, resources, we can get resources, but there are certain soft skills that you need to convince people to buy from you. So I think if you start there, then the resources and everything that you need, it's like the law of attraction, right?
Hmm.
When you start that process, then God is going to put the resources and the right people in front of you to help you facilitate everything that you need to make it happen. So
Right.
I think starting from a point of let me explore what's needed out there, let me see from my experiences, from all the skills and abilities and talents that I have, what can I do to help others? I mean, if you, I don't know, Cedric, if you normally go like on YouTube. I mean, YouTube, you find so many people like with millions of followers, people that only do like how to tutorials on how to do certain things.
Hmm.
You know, people out there, they get creative and they
Right.
make money being creative and doing things that they love and things that they already know how to do. So I think that will be one of the advices that I will give those people that want to maybe start something and they don't know where to start.
Well, awesome. Well, yes, I do get on YouTube from time to time. In fact, every Monday night and every Tuesday night, I'm on YouTube. In fact, right now we're on YouTube streaming this live. So you're
Awesome.
teaching people right now. So there you go for your YouTube. um, so what's the best thing that you would say this? happened to you this year?
I mean, Cedric, with no doubt, to be let go from my job.
I love that.
As crazy as it sounds, to be let go from my job, because that has opened so many doors, and it has opened the confidence that I needed to believe even more in myself. And so, you know, it sounds crazy because you go uh, into a you go into a phase of your life where you don't have that paycheck every 2 weeks, and you can make plans. And my husband and I were very organized with our budget and all of that. But I think it will be okay. I think it will be fine, because I think I deeply know that it was meant to be, that it was God moving me in this direction. So that has been, with no doubt, the best thing that has happened to me this year.
Well, that is awesome. I know a lot of people would never say that. So that is awesome. One, another thing is that's bold of you to say that, acknowledge it, and accept it, right? So absolutely love that. Now, you've had a lot of success coming over here from Dominican Republic when you were 14, couldn't speak any English. You go to school, you learn English, you um, finish your schooling as well in the hospitality industry. You go from a door person to um, the front desk agent. You go work for the Four Seasons. And so you've had a lot of successes, right? Now you have your own business, right? But we've also had failures, right? We've all had some type of failure. So tell us about one of your failures and the lesson you learned from that failure.
Oh, I've had a lot of failures, Cedric. A lot. Maybe one that comes to mind, and this one I know my husband is watching. This was a shared failure. My husband and I, we've been married for 15 years, and we got married when I was 23, he was 25. We decided, like, maybe a couple years into the marriage, we decided that we wanted to buy a property. We lived in New York. We wanted to buy a property in Allentown, Pennsylvania. That's where his family was living, so we wanted to be closer to them, and the houses were more affordable there, and all of these great things. And we had our savings. We were first time buyers, so only 3%. We had our, everything under, it was aligning right.
Hmm.
So we went house shopping. We found this really nice home, 3 bedroom. We bought the house, Cedric. We bought the house, and after the house was purchased, that's when we started looking for the jobs to transition. How crazy that is, right? But we did it.
Okay.
So then in that process, I mean, I was already working for the Four Seasons. Of course, I'm not gonna find a job like the one that I had in a hotel, in a 5-star hotel in New York City, getting, like all the payments that I was getting. So with my husband, when he said at work that he was going to leave, they didn't want him to leave. I mean, they went crazy. They offered him a raise and they promoted him, Cedric. So all of a sudden, now we have our jobs that are like not letting us go, and we have this purchase of this house. So that was like a big mistake that we made, because we did everything backwards, because we were so excited to buy our first property. And so, I want to share that because I think it's just funny how sometimes you let the emotions and the moment and everything like that you have in your mind go. And if you don't have the right people, advising you and mentoring you and telling you how things really work, then you really make mistakes like that.
Right.
I say that it was a mistake, but we rented the house and it's still rented to the same people, so we now have a rental property that is still there. And so it wasn't as bad, but looking back, it's like you look at it, it's like, oh my god, how could you do that? Like, you should have your things like more aligned with
Right.
what the process was going to be. So yeah.
Wow. So the have the job first,
Yes.
and then
And then make the big purchase.
Okay, all right. What tidbits of wisdom would you leave our listeners with that you believe could help them in their personal and professional lives? That could be on anything.
I want to say maybe if you have a dream in your heart, if you have an idea, if you have something that you want to pursue, because maybe you're not happy where you are right now, but you're afraid to make that move, to take that leap of faith, go ahead and do it and try it, because you will not know if you will be successful unless you try, Cedric. You know, that big gap between knowing and doing, that gap needs to be bridged by action, by you trying to do that thing that you want to do.
Hmm.
You know, if other people could do things, similar things, or greater things, or things of a lesser value, you can do it too. So I think that's it's very important that you give yourself a chance, that you give yourself permission to try, that you give yourself permission to make mistakes and have some failures, because when you fail, Cedric, that's just a sign that you are moving in the right direction. Because if you look at failure from a positive standpoint, that's just going to help you to grow and develop, because you're going to learn experiences from that failure.
Sure.
So that's what I will say to the people that maybe want to consider something. Just take action and prepare yourself, because when the opportunities come, it's too late to start to get ready, right? So you need to prepare
Absolutely.
yourself and stay ready, Cedric.
Absolutely. So when you're just sitting at home, just you and the kids and the husband, what desserts do you eat?
What desserts? I like flan.
Okay.
I love flan, and then I also my daughter Alexa, she learned how to make a cake, like pound cake. So
Oh,
she bakes cakes. So I love her cakes too.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now, are you a sports fan?
I'm sorry.
Are you a sports fan?
Yes, I am.
All right. So uh, I won't say football, but it could be any sport. What's your favorite team?
Well, I like basketball,
Okay.
so I like LeBron James a lot. So I think he's awesome, and I just respect him
Now,
so
wait
much.
a minute. I said, what's your team? You said LeBron
No,
James.
but hold on, because I'm gonna get there.
So whatever
So
team LeBron is on,
whatever team LeBron is, that's my team, Cedric. Because
okay.
so I think he's in the LA and the Lakers now, right?
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
last time. So that's it. The Lakers.
Okay. All right. I noticed that. I said, what team? She said, LeBron.
LeBron's team.
Oh, that is funny. So, um, do you have any upcoming events?
Well, right now I have a personal development training that's going on. It started last week. That's going to be going for 5 weeks. I'm going to start another one as soon as that one is done. So I'm going to be posting that on my social media. I'm also working on on a training for youth success for teens. So that's going to come up on the first week of October, and I will have that in English and in Spanish. And I have the current training also, it's available in both languages. And I'm also working to do a show similar to this, Cedric. Uh, we'll be interviewing people in English and Spanish um, about their experiences, about things that they've gone through in their life that has helped them to become the person that they are today, like to inspire people out there and to show people that when you fail, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, right? So I just want to do that, and I want to do them in both languages to reach as many people as I can, to inspire them and to empower them to maybe take action and do and bet, and do that thing that they want to do. So I'm working on that as well. I don't have a date for that, but that will come soon as well.
Okay. Wow. Well, that's awesome. That's going to be a fun journey. Awesome. So, if there was a book that was written about you, what would the title be, and what would the book summary say about you?
Oh wow. A book. Um, well, Cedric, I think if you say the front of the book,
Yeah,
right?
what would the title
The
be?
title, okay.
Mhm.
Well, the title, I will say my book. The title of my book will be The Observer.
The Observer.
The
Okay.
Observer, yes.
Okay. And then then I said on the back of the book, what would the summary say about you?
Um, so maybe something like this with love from Joanna to everybody who's probably coming from places and or circumstances that are not favorable or are not people that are actually coming from a place of I don't think I can do this, to inspire them and to let them know that observing people that have had the results that you want to have, observing the right actions from the right people can definitely help you get there. And yeah, I think that will be. Let me not say much because I don't want to mess it up. I think that's yeah. You observe the good things and the wrong things, right? And it's up to you to pick up the right things in your life and go run with that and make it happen in your own life. So the
Sure.
observer.
Okay, awesome. I like that. The Observer. Wow, we have been here for 57 minutes, and it's been 57 minutes of pure Joanna, just awesomeness. So I appreciate you coming on the show. And see the link, the email address is right on your screen right there. And you can email her. It's Internal Alignment LLC. Tell them again where they can find you.
Yeah, so my Facebook page is Internal Alignment. I am on Instagram, Internal Alignment by Johanna. I also have a YouTube channel, Johanna Rincon, and I'm on Twitter and on LinkedIn, of course. And then if you need to email me, Johanna Rincon dot internalalignment@gmail.com.
Yep, that's right on the screen.
And I'm here for your service.
Awesome. And she trains both youth and parents. So parents, don't
Awesome.
just drop your kids off. You get a seat, grab some coffee, and get ready to grow as well.
That's right.
Well, that is awesome. So, folks, thank you for tuning in tonight. It's been another great show with another great guest. I'm so excited for Johanna and what she's doing in her business. In just a few minutes, turn over to the Empowered Living channel, and you're here, the Black Entrepreneurs Institute tonight. Mr. Damian Johnson will be doing a teaching, so he'll be there solo this evening. And then come back here on Facebook at 7:30 and tune in to Talk with TK. And she's going to be talking about mindset with the Mindset 180 Academy. Thursday, remember to tune in to the show, Talk Leadership with Cedrick on the radio at ibgr.network. And guess what, folks? Next Monday night and next Tuesday night, we have two dynamic guests. Monday night, we have Miss Billy Gray. She lives here in Houston, Texas, and she is a longtime educator. She'll be on the show. And then Tuesday night, we're going to hit it again with Miss Robin K. Butler. So make sure you come and tune in next Tuesday night. I want to remind you, folks, if you're not at the table, you are on the menu. Don't be on the menu. Thank you and have a good night.